Good morning from Toló. I actually decided to stay one more night here at the camping because she offered me a really good price. She told me I would have to pay just 20 euros a night, so 40 in total instead of like 35 for one night, which would have been 70 on booking. I'm gonna stay here for one more night and we'll see what we do today. But first of all, I will need to go into the town, into Toló, and I need to buy some groceries for breakfast. And yeah, we'll do this now. We are now in the ancient town of Asina, and it's actually right on top of a hill in front of Toló. You can see Toló down there. All the beaches full of people right now. Yep. It's like an ancient town or village from Mycenaean times, and they used to have like a proper like civilization up here, I would say. They even had a acropolis and all this stuff up here, and today you can see a lot of it, obviously because it's been a long time. But here's a little information screen which shows you like where all of the things have been, and we are on Babuna Hill. That's like the name of this hill we are on here. And there's Babuna Hill, like where we are right now, and then there used to be a Mycenaean cemetery, and like a sanctuary of Apollo. But yeah, so we are right now, we are here, right next to Kasuraki. So it would basically have to be like up there. This would be the old Mycenaean cemetery, and then down there would be the geometric cemetery. I mean, I don't really know a lot about this. I'm just learning it from all the science that are here. So I'm not your history professional to explain it. But this was like. You can see here like a floor plan of like the sanctuary of Apollo, which would be somewhere up there. I am not sure. Anyways, it's quite interesting to see because although like not a lot still here, you can still have a look at like things like this. Is like a old cistern. I'm not sure if you can maybe see it better like this. So that's like where they used to get their water from. And also further down there are some old buildings, like the place where they used to be. They light out the stones. But that's like a great view of Toló from up here. And it was free entrance again because I'm under 26. So one thing I noticed is the wildlife on top of this hill is crazy, because they're like, maybe you can see it right there, no, they're like bugs up here, like insects, which are like incredibly big, which you can't find anywhere else in Europe, at least not what I know of. And they make like some really interesting noises sometimes, like right there you can see one. I'm not sure if you saw it on camera, but it's like, I'm not even sure what they are, but they're just really big and somewhat intimidating because I don't really like insects, and especially if they're that big. So they're like even much bigger than a hornet, I would say twice the size, and they're like some kind of bugs, and I don't know what they are. I might do some research later on, but yeah, that's quite interesting. And we also have an amazing view of the other side of the ancient Asina. yeah, so there's another beach right there. They also have a camping on this side. There are not as much people as in Toló, but it's also not as beautiful as I can see. I mean, at least it's quite stony, and there's like some rocks in the water there, so like not the greatest place to go swimming, at least for me. But like you have a great view of all the little islands here in front of Toló and like the whole Peloponnese from here. Right here you can see like still a part of the fortified wall of Mycenae. And you can also see here on the map, this is where we are right now. And you can somewhat trace out like this little building here, which is like this part, which is the eastern tower. You can see right there. Yep. So this used to be the eastern tower, and there's like another cistern down there. And then it's like written down here that due to the threat of aggression, they had to fortify Mycenae with like these walls here, you can see. So there didn't used to be any walls in the beginning, but they had to like fortify this whole place with some walls. Like right here you can see the walls. So all of this was Mycenae, and this is what's like still left of them. I just spent a couple of hours on the beach because it was like really hot during noon, like until it's like 3 p.m. right now, like 4 p.m. already, and we are now heading towards Mycenae, which is a really old like historical site, because they have like an old like amphitheater there and stuff, so we'll go and check this out. I've been to Mycenae before as well, but I mean, why not go there anyways, because it's gonna be free again, as every site in Greece. So we'll check that out and just enjoy some Greek culture, because down here in this region of Peloponnese there's a lot of cultural sites and a lot of historical old cities which you can explore, which is especially interesting for me. So I will just be heading to at least one site, because we're going already to Albania tomorrow, so we don't have a lot of time here. But I just want to go to Mycenae once again, and then we go back to Toló and just like have something to eat and maybe enjoy one or two drinks at one of my most favorite bars there, and then we'll see how the evening goes. kinda on top of a hill here, and you have to go up quite a bit. So it's like built on top of the little mountain here, and it's actually in quite a mountainous region, because somewhat down there you can see the flats of Toló, and Toló is surrounded by, as you can see right here. And up in these mountains is the ancient city of Mycenae, and you can see the gate to the city. And it's like one of the best still intact cities you can find from Mycenaean times. Yeah. So like this stone circle you can see right here. All this is basically a huge cemetery, or used to be a cemetery. And there's a picture how it used to look right here. And it's explained down here actually that there were several graves. There were 6 graves, and they were marked by these little stone pillars, which you don't see today, because these graves were excavated by some archaeologists in, I don't know when. I guess it's also written somewhere here. It's in 1876. The first 5 were excavated, and in 1877 the last one got excavated. And they basically found like mummies of like pretty rich people, because they had a lot of like expensive goods with them in their grave. So it's kind of like with the Egyptians, like the pyramids, you know. It's kind of like the same concept. Yeah. So we're now walking further up to Mycenae, and these stones are actually really slippery. We're just now on top of the hill, and the building you can somewhat see down here. That's the old palace, which obviously used to be on top of the mountain, and it was in its full glory in 1300 before Christ, so like over 3000 years ago, and it was destroyed by a fire, probably. In the late 1300 before Christ, so in 1200 they think it was rebuilt in 1200, but it must have lost its glory back then, because the peak glory of the whole Mycenae used to be in 1300 before Christ, and you can actually see here like the edge of the palace. Then down there is an old wall, and then you can also see here like the mountain we're on, and here's another mountain, and you can see that we're like in quite a mountainous region now. We're like to the northeast of Toló, so like seen from Toló, it's the direction of Athens, which would be somewhere behind those mountains in like 150 kilometers from here. And this is the backside. And actually so this was the artisans' quarter. In this area there used to be a two-story buildings, and they were like workshops where they like forged like weapons and stuff, and because they found raw metals and unfinished products in this area, they believe it to have been a workshop. And now we're heading to the eastern slope of Mycenae, and there have been several buildings here, but I'm actually not really quite sure what they were all about. But you can somewhat imagine these buildings, especially if you look at something like this. You can see like the individual rooms they had, like here, and then also like these big walls which still exist today. It's quite impressive actually. When I was here in June, or when I was here the last time, it was somewhat not so impressive because you can't really enjoy something like this if you don't go in your own pace. At least for me that's the case. So now discovering it in my own pace is like much more interesting, because I can stop at these signs, have a look at them, I can stop where I want to, I can skip the things I don't really want to see, and so on. So it makes the whole experience a lot more interesting and a whole lot more relaxing than if you're here in a group. So that's also why I do solo traveling, because you get to decide where to stay and where to skip. And now we're at the northeast extension. Well, apparently Mycenae got extended sometimes because it simply grew too small for all the people. And this is like one of these extensions. All the time down here in the plains of Toló, you drive along these orange trees actually, and also lemon trees, orange and lemon trees, and some other exotic fruits. And I just saw, I mean, there are not much trees which are already ready to, that are already ready to be collected, because most of them are somewhat still green. But you can see like some of the trees here, they have already ripe oranges, and I just stopped at the side of the road because I saw one tree which had like a lot of, just like this one, which had like a lot of ripe oranges, and I got my bark here and collected a few. And then the farmer just went by on his motorbike, and he was, I thought he might tell me off because I'm basically stealing from his orange tree. But he was really happy. He was like, he was speaking Greek to me, but he said something like, it's okay, enjoy your oranges, they are fresh, they are good, and he was smiling all the time, so I guess I was okay to take them, because I had them like in my hands, like five of them, but he was totally fine with me grabbing them, because I don't think they can collect all of them anyways, and they're like, a lot of them just, those which are ripe already, they just fall on the ground and they get eaten by animals, so they don't really care if someone collects them and can use them. But this like just amazing. It's like the freshest oranges you can ever get straight from the orange tree here. I'm just eating one of the oranges, like, it's not actually an orange, it's just like mandarin, it's like the smaller orange things, I don't know how you call them in English. But yeah, that's what they look like. I guess they are not completely ripe yet because they have quite a soury taste to them still, but they still they already taste quite okay. Yeah, so I'm just eating them while on the way back to Toló. It's also like they somehow taste different than those you can buy in the supermarket, because I guess they're like directly from the tree and they still have they have a lot of like grains inside of them, and they also like the inside is much smaller than like the shell, because I don't think they are made to be sold in supermarkets, so they're just like naturally and not modified and all that stuff, but I like it. had some amazing lunch at this taverna, and you're like sitting on the pier, right in the middle of the beach, and it was actually it wasn't too expensive. It was like 11 euros for the souvlaki, and then like 3 euros for drinks, but they charge you for bread and for water even though you don't ask for it. But that's like the thing sometimes here, not just here in Greece but in all of Europe. Now we're heading for a bar I really like, have a drink, and then we'll head back home.